So, welcome again. I'm looking around to see what are those things that are trending. Of course, it's not by date though. My trending issues are not by date. I only take interest in things that I feel Nigerians should know about. That maybe because of the hustling and bustling of the need for us to get food, the need for us to feed, the need for us to make a living. I mean, we might have actually missed some of them. So one of those things that is actually trending presently is people moving from one party to another. But let me start from our almighty El Rufai, the former governor of Kaduna State. So he said, I left APC to build godfatherism free political alternative. That was what he's saying. That the reason why he left APC is for him to actually help build a party where there will be no godfatherism. Okay. I don't know if you agree with him. Yes. If yes or no, you can comment your own opinion on that in the comment section. Yes. So that's what Governor El Rufai, His Excellency, former governor of Kaduna State, is actually saying here. So, and also, I want to see, this one. He's saying, why we defect to APC in Delta State? Okowa is the one talking here. He said, it's like he wants to give us, of course, I don't know if you are actually asking them for explanation, but they are giving you explanation or the same, because I often tell people, I said, the fact that you believe that they want you to believe that your vote doesn't count. So, but the question again that you should ask yourself is, if your vote doesn't count, why are they buying votes? Because it doesn't make any logical sense if your vote doesn't count and they are still buying the vote that doesn't count. So the reason I'm saying this is, why are they actually telling us this kind of story in the first place? Why is it telling us about why he defected from APC to from his party to APC? And of course, a lot of people are actually nursing that fear that Nigeria is going to become a one-party state, and of course, and it looks like that's what we are seeing presently. So let me quickly read just the rider stories. Why he moved, why they moved in Delta State en masse, why they moved to APC. He said former state governor Ifeanyi Okowa has explained why he and Governor Sheriff actually joined All Progressive Congress from People's Democratic Party. Speaking at the ceremony held at an event in Asaba on Monday, where they were formally received into APC, and Okowa said the decision was taken in the best interest of Delta State and its people. This is where I always differ. The fact that you want to make a decision, you don't have any problem making any decision. You are a grown-up man. You have the right to make your own decision. You have the right to whatever you want to do. You have the right to association and whatever right we have under the Constitution. In fact, even those that are not written, you have the right. But stop using that word as if you are demigod, as if you are assistant god, that in the interest of Delta State. Who do you consult? How many people do you have in Delta State? How many people do you know their homes and you have had a meeting with them and you actually agree with them that in their interest, that's why you are doing what you are saying? You are saying it's people, the people of Delta State. I don't think if you have gone into the street and actually carried out a social experiment to ask them whether you're actually doing this in their interest. So that's for our almighty, that's for our almighty former governor Okowa. Yes. So then also there's this sad story I'm saying here, This was posted on 28 in the news by Punch, 28 April, and that's on Monday. Was posted, where the header says bomb explosion kills Borno travelers. And let me just read like an excerpt from the story. Said an explosive device has killed an unspecified number of travelers moving from Kalagabage to Gamburu Ngala local government area of Borno State. Why is it always Borno State? For me, I don't think this is just a random occurrence. This is a deliberate attack. Then it says our correspondent, that's Punch correspondence, our correspondents gathered that the incident occurred on Monday when a vehicle traveling from Ran, the headquarters of Kala Balge, to Gomburu Ngala, stepped on an improvised explosive device. Confirming the incident to Punch Online, the spokesman of the spokesperson for Borno State Police Command, ASP Nahum Daso, said efforts are ongoing to collate necessary data, and he said, I am aware that it happened. Please, I will get back to you. That's what he said. I'm still gathering necessary information. That's what he said. So we will pray for the soul of those people, for the family of those who love their loved ones, that the strength to actually bear this loss the Lord will give unto them. But the truth is, we don't need to keep commensurating with people. I remember there was a time someone was they named him as the commensurator of our time. You during the past regime is the one that they will send to go and console people, to go and condole with them and the rest of them. But I think it is time we need to do what we need to do. One of those things that I will keep saying, a country that will not prioritize development will continue to have issues of insurgency, issues of a lot of issues that we are actually presently facing, and that is evident because we have not done what we need to do as a country. For me, it is time we need to start doing what we need to do in order for us to actually get out of these situations that we are finding ourselves. Let me go to international community, where the BRICS diplomats meet in Brazil to counter Trump's tariff. Trump and his saga. Trump is presently imposing tax on some of the goods from certain countries. So let me quickly read an excerpt. He said, senior diplomat from the BRICS alliance convened in Brazil on Monday to address growing concern over United States President Donald Trump's latest wave of protectionism trade policy. The two-day meeting in Rio de Janeiro came on the heel of the International Monetary Fund's revised global growth forecast, which was downgraded due to the disruptive impact of the new American tariff. So this tariff is actually having impact. Fine, some other country may be saying that we have developed a countermeasure, but the fact is there's no balance. The world is a system, and once there's a kind of imbalance coming from any node, any point, there's going to be imbalance, and this is actually affecting a lot of countries, and I think that's why they are gathering. According to AAFP, gathering include foreign minister for the expanded BRICS, that is these blocks that contains Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, as well as newer members such as Iran, Egypt, Indonesia, Ethiopia, and the United Arab Emirates. So together, the group now represents nearly half of the world's population, and 39% of the global GDP. Wow, that's a big one. So I think the BRICS is actually making a statement, but let's wait and see what the outcome of their meeting and how the best countermeasures they are going to develop to actually counter the tariff regime of President Donald Trump of the America. So I think that is something that all of us should actually see. I'm bringing it for us so that we can see it. Yes. So another thing another thing that I think it will interest you is the fact that Nigeria loses 45%. This is a big one. This is actually a big one. This one is saying that Nigeria loses 45% of tomato harvest annually. That's what the minister is saying. The Minister of Agriculture is saying that Nigeria will lose 45% of the tomato harvest annually. No, this is definitely obvious. I'm from the southwest, and of course one of those things that we plant the most is actually tomato. And of course, when you see some of this tomato in the season, when you have more tomato in the harvest time for tomato, you realize that you buy them very cheap. You see them everywhere. In fact, you see them being thrown on the road and the rest of them. And this is due to the fact that we don't have good storage system, and of course the value chain around tomato is not so strong. I don't know if you have noticed that in the days of tin tomato, we have we have tin tomato in those days, and even since then we have not been doing anything about tomatoes. If I think this 45% is even small compared to what we used to have before. I guess the minister is stating the fact, but it's not just about giving us statistics. Statistics is not what really concerns us. What is the solution? And the purpose of Frank Talk Show is to get data, turn them to information for people, and of course have a kind of discourse, and we'll come up with solution. And let me quickly read. Maybe I'm moving ahead of the minister himself. Let me read what he said. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abba Kyari, has said Nigeria currently lose 45% of its 3.9 million tons of tomato harvest to post-harvest waste and supply chain inefficiency annually. Actually, I've said that. He also highlighted the challenges posed by the country's heavy reliance on tomato paste import, noting that despite Nigeria's abundant production, it remains world's largest importer of the product. When you say the product here, we are talking of tomato paste. Yeah. So that's what he's saying. He added that the systematic challenges include inadequate processing of infrastructure, weak linkage between farmer and processor, and outdated farming practices continue to hamper the sector's growth. All of these are things that we actually know. So Yari said, let us first acknowledge the paradox that defines Nigeria agricultural landscape. Despite being the largest producer of tomato in Nigeria remains the world's largest importer of tomato paste. It was just repeating the same thing. Each year we produce approximately 3.9 million tons of tomato, yet 45%, equivalent to around 1.8 million tons, goes to waste due to inefficiency in our agricultural supply chain. These wastes represent not only lost food, but lost livelihood, economic potential, and of course nutritional access for our citizens. Yes, of course you sound like someone who cares for the citizen. We love you for that. It's something good, but the truth is we need solution. We don't want leaders who would just be crying fouls alone. We want leaders who are actually ready to take actions. Take actions. That's what we want from you. We don't actually need don't roll out statistics for us. You are the one in charge of all these things. What we want you to do is to, of course, give us solutions to some of this problem, telling us about it. These are issues that we have known. I'm just like some people will say I'm young. Of course, I may be young, but I'm old enough to understand that this problem has been there since I was born and up to these days. And of course, the reason why we elect leaders is for them. We have given them our mandate. We have like a social contract with them, and it is their duty to do the needful to solve the problems that we have on ground. So it is not for you to tell us what you feel. So another one that I think will interest you is the fact that Abia begins 10,000 capacity modular refinery construction in May. That's when that will be starting. So Abia, a lot of people are actually giving kudos to Abia State. Abia State governor that is doing well. He's doing a wonderful job. If you believe he's doing well, please, you can comment in the you can put your comment in the comment section. Of course, Abia State government says the construction of its modular refinery will commence fully during the second quarter of the year. And the state government also disclosed that it has engaged the NNPC Port Harcourt refinery and the NNPC retail management to ensure that the state gets sufficient allocation of petroleum products. That is a governor that is thinking that even if the whole of Nigeria is actually suffering from lack of the PMS product, then they will also have they will have more than enough to actually run the economy. That's a governor. Thank you, Mr. Governor. You are a working governor. I love you, Governor Alex Oti. I love you so much. This is what happens when people choose the leader they want. And of course, this is not me saying that it's the best, but sometimes you don't have to be the best, but your effort is enough to show us that yes, you are there. That's what we are talking about. So the State Commissioner for Information, Kano, disclosed this on Monday while briefing newsmen on the outcome of State Executive Council ESCO meeting chaired by the State Governor Alex Oti. Kano stated, "This, of course, is a result of the approval granted HSI to operate the 10,000 barrel per day capacity modular refinery at the AIP site." So this is what we are looking at. This is what we are talking about. We need leaders who are forward thinking, who thinks ahead, who wants to solve problems. It is not those leaders who sees problem and throw money at them, and at the end of them they will keep failing forward. Of course, we have, in my previous video I talked about the Pope. Of course, is one of those things that is still trending. We are still celebrating it. Then something caught my attention. Although this was on Wednesday, 9th April 2025, I saw something very, very something that I'm not pleased about. Nigeria struggled to rein in widespread meningitis outbreak that has killed at least over 150. This is an information that I'm saying here. Nigerian Health Authority are struggling to contain rapidly spreading meningitis outbreak that has so far killed 151 people across the West African nation, mostly in a remote part of the northern region, with children affected the most. Our children, of course, I have so much interest. I have so much interest in children, and of course, we need to really protect them because they are vulnerable. They don't, they cannot take care of themselves. The onus lies on us to actually take care of them, and of course, this news actually makes me very, very sad. And of course, I believe Nigerian government will do the needful. It is not all the time we criticize the government. Of course, it is not all the time we say they've not done enough. But because one of those things that I really appreciate in Nigeria during COVID-19 was how Oyo State the southwest, or your state, Lagos State, and some other notable states actually, handle the situation, and they are able to contain the virus. And I believe Nigerian government will take clue from this and move things forward. Sorry that I'm so emotional about this. It's only Nigeria that one person would die, and we just say, is it not just one person, let alone we are talking of 150. This is too much. So at this point, I want to say thank you. This is Frank Talk Show with Femi once again. Don't worry, I'm still gonna bring issues that we'll discuss. We have interviews, we have discourse, but at this point, presently, let's still enjoy those things that are trending. And I give my opinion, a bit of my opinion, a bit of the opinion of the person that actually, of the news that we have, and my own opinion. And let's enjoy this. Thank you very much.